What's going on, everyone? This is the CLNS Media Patriots postgame show. Marv, it's always a good feeling if you're a Patriots fan when you can defeat the New York Giants.
Absolutely.
Always a good feeling. In this game right here, the Patriots defeat the New York Giants in Gillette Stadium, 35-14, moving to 6-0 on the season, 3-0 at Gillette Stadium. Continued dominance from the Patriots when they're on their home field.
Yeah, this game, as you all know, who's watched this game right now, it was not pretty. The score says 35-14, but Patriots broke away late, Mike. But that first half right there, I think we're going to spend most of our time talking about that first half. You know, a lot of things to dissect in this game, and we are live right now. So make sure you guys hit us up on the live stream. Let us know your thoughts, your feelings about this Patriots versus Giants game.
Yeah, absolutely. You said it right there in the first half. Patriots got two early touchdowns, and you scores 14-0. Got a touchdown early, and then special teams had a clutch touchdown with that blocked punt.
Yeah, the first touchdown.
Yeah, and it was returned by who? Winovich, yes. And after the score was 14-0, I believed, knowing that the New York Giants have one of the worst defenses in the NFL, I also believe that because, the New York Giants offense were missing some key pieces. Saquon Barkley wasn't able to return in time. They're missing Sterling Shepard. They're missing the backup running back who played well, Gilman, I believe his name is, and then also not having Ingram out there, missing a lot of key pieces. So because of their defense and their offense missing key pieces, I believe that it wasn't going to take much to put this team away. And you thought 14-0 would probably be enough to hold them off, but no. Giants made some things happen to hang around in this game early on.
Right, you said it, Mike. Patriots defense really dominated, especially in the first half. It was 14-0 off of the block punt and then an interception that happened earlier. You get the ball, Brandon Bolden punches it in at the goal line. It's 14-0, and all of a sudden, Danny Dimes, that's what they're calling him there in New York. Danny Dimes throws a design to Golden Tate for 64 yards. Jonathan Jones, he's been great all year. He was in good coverage. Good coverage on Golden Tate. Danny just threw it where the ball needed to be. Tipped up a little bit. Golden Tate got the rest, and the rest was history. Golden Tate takes it to 64 yards for a touchdown. You're like, okay, this might be a little game here. Brady gets the ball back, fumbles the ball, Mike. That was what we've been talking about it. Offensive line, protection, protecting Brady. Fumbles the ball, and they score again, and becomes 14-0. Luckily, you're able in the end of the second half to pull up late. Brady punches it in for his one of his two rushing touchdowns, and it becomes 21-14 in the game. But it wasn't pretty. I think Ryan just touched on it himself. There was some bad throws, bad play calling. What do you say? Lucky touchdown catches. Like, this game was all over the place. But Mike, let's focus on the first thing Ryan said here. Bad throws.
Yeah, it was rough for Brady. I mean, the stats will stay otherwise. 31 of 41, 334 yards. Um, didn't throw for any touchdown passes. Did have an interception. Was able to rush it in 2 times to get 2 touchdowns for the team. But in terms of Brady throwing the ball, when he really looked to go downfield, it just didn't seem like it was there for him. And a lot of people who are just viewing this game will say, okay, Brady's really starting to look his age because, not only just this game, the last couple of weeks, Brady has seemed a little off. The stats might say otherwise sometimes, but if you're watching the game, you can see Brady's making throws that you're like, okay, he usually makes these. The Brady we know usually makes these throws. But at the same time, is it completely all Brady? The argument can be made that it's not because the offensive line is definitely struggling. Brady took 3 sacks today, but on top of that, he was definitely rushing, hurried, and hit a lot more times in those 3 sacks. On top of that, you can question Brady's weapons and options out there. Julian Edelman had a huge game, 9 receptions, 113 yards. But then the next guy that's usually out there, the number 2 wide receiver, Josh Gordon, 1 reception for 7 yards, but he gets hurt. He's out the picture. So now you're looking at a team where, okay, you're missing your second option. Now you're hoping that guys like Jacoby Myers and Gunnar Gunnar Rowe can step up. I don't want to even try to say his last name. I keep forgetting how to pronounce it. But you're hoping that these other guys can step up. So, is it a combination of Brady just not being on his game, or is it the fact that the offensive line is struggling and his weapons are kind of iffy at the moment?
It's a little bit of everything. Brady wasn't good. Like, let's not make an excuse for Brady at all. He was not good in this game. Excuse me. I know the weather was bad. There was some throws down the field. You could tell that the wind definitely took it. One glaring throw was during the first half where Edelman broke free down the field, and there was a clear window where Brady needed to throw the ball, and he threw it behind Edelman, and it was a big incompletion from there. And it was just that's when you looked at it like, what is going on in this game right now? Why isn't Brady being able to hit his receivers? The balls were all over, even passes to Jacoby Myers that he made. Some big catches Jacoby Myers made that we'll speak on later. Those none of those were accurate. Brady struggled, placing the ball, and maybe it has to do with a guy like Ogletree being all over the field against him and really get into Brady's head. And so Brady was not accurate in this game. The offensive line, Mike, we spoke about it in roundtable.
On
This,
previous shows.
yeah, like this line is not good. And you could tell Giants do not have a good defense. Let's put this out there. Giants are not a good defensive team. Yes,
Redskins weren't a good defensive team.
Redskins weren't a good defensive team. Yes, Giants played their ass off. They played really hard tonight, but let's not get it twisted here. You were supposed to be able to protect Brady in this game, and they weren't. They were not able to whatsoever. Even the running game, suffered for it as well. Newhouse, once again, looking at him, he's trying the best he can, but it's not there. It's not there for him. The whole left side wasn't good, and then finally the guy who's been most consistent in Tooney. Tooney didn't look great in this game as well. So the whole offensive line in itself is needs. You're missing guys. This is what's gonna happen. They don't have that. They don't have it right now.
Yeah, and you talk about this game with the Giants, you talk about a previous game against the Redskins. They're facing, like you said, teams that are not elite defenses. They're facing teams that don't have a legit pass rush. And even still, these teams are making it look like they're one of the top defenses out there because they're just plowing through this offensive line and making it tough for Brady. The Patriots have yet to face a defense. I guess yes, the Bills had a solid defense, but other than the Bills, the teams that they face, you can't really say they had a terrifying pass rush, and yet they're making it tough for Brady. This offensive line has been tested, and it's crazy to say they've been tested against teams that don't have the top tier talent to really need to test you. So it's going to be curious to see, in these next couple of weeks. Obviously, yes, the Patriots do have couple of more lollipop games for them in terms of
Right.
getting easy wins that you assume, but they're gonna come a time where you face teams that have guys who can make some noise in the pass rush. And if we're seeing games like this, the Patriots are getting by, luckily, because again, it's still Belichick and Brady out there. And then on top of that, a huge part is the fact that their defense
It's
is
amazing.
making plays and also scoring defensive touchdowns. But if we're looking at games like today, yes, the score says 35-14. But if we're looking at games today and saying, okay, the offensive line struggled and they get into Brady, what's going to happen when you have a team come in that can play a real legit solid defense and not let the Patriots score 35, 30 plus points on them? It's going to be serious to see when the serious competition comes into play.
Looking at some comments here, trying to get some of you guys' comments in here. They're saying TB12 the God saying Brady played okay. Wynn looked like it was taking the ball at some times. When does Wynn come back? Wynn comes back. Hopefully, if they choose to bring him back, Patriots be on some funny business. If they choose to pick him back, which we all believe they will, after week 8, he's on the IR right now, and him and one other player can come back. Flash, Josh Gordon, what's he looking like? He took a nasty fall with that tackle. His
Yes.
knee bent some type of way. It was a good sign though that he came back onto the sideline. He didn't come and play, but coming back on the sideline already, stretching
Walking
out his leg,
around, yeah.
walking around, that's a positive sign moving forward, knowing that it shouldn't be anything too serious. But not having him in this game, you could definitely it hurt. It hurt not having him here.
Yes, and even with losing him was huge. And I'm looking at another comment coming in here saying Josh Gordon is washed up. I wouldn't say Josh Gordon is washed up, but I believe, after watching these first 6 games now of the season, Josh Gordon, he's not like a mediocre wide receiver, and he's also not an elite wide receiver.
Right.
He's just there. You know, passes are being thrown his way. He's able to make catches. Once in a while, you see him use his size and strength to, pick up some extra yards. But other than that, he's not doing anything to really separate himself into okay, Josh Gordon is a real factor on terms of offensive weapons. And then another comment came in that said if the Patriots were to lose Edelman for a duration of time or possible for the season, it's going to put the Patriots in a deep hole. I think we all know that. But even saying that and then knowing that Josh Gordon isn't really separating himself as a major factor in this offense, something we've talked about on this show, something we've talked about on Roundtable. Patriots need another weapon. Patriots need another weapon. I see names coming in. Stephon Diggs. Odell Beckham Jr. is not leaving the Browns this year. I don't see that happen. AJ Green is also another option there. Patriots need to make something happen. Obviously, you want a veteran receiver, not a guy who's been around for a little bit. I definitely want to take a look and see what free agent wide receivers out there if they choose to go that route, or like these names are coming in, a trade needs to happen. But either way, something needs to be added to this offense.
Going back to the Josh Gordon take that you said, Josh Gordon's good. And I think Josh Gordon could be very special on this team. The chemistry with Brady is not there. I think I don't know what
Is
it
that what it
is.
is, though?
I think it is. I think that's what it is. We've seen Josh Gordon already in glimpses show some remarkable catches, and when he goes off, you're like, damn! If only they can just get it going. For some reason, there's plays where Brady doesn't even look his way at all, and you could say, oh, Gordon's his route run is not the same. He's not what he used to be in 2013, 2014. We understand that. But I still think he can be a guy where you look at him and be like, that's a Pro Bowl wide receiver talent week in and week out. But we just need that. We need to have that more consistently. This time, you watch it, just give the ball to Gordon. Every time the ball goes to Gordon's hand, something positive happens. And something you sit there and you're frustrated, wondering why it doesn't happen even more. Now, going into the receivers that you mentioned, in free agency or trade, it's clear that something is going to need to happen. N'Keal Harry won't be coming in. Maybe once again, he's an IR, so maybe week 8. But we all know, and I'm sick that I have to say this on this show, but we all know Brady and Belichick weren't happy Antonio Brown was off this team. We all it's out. The verdict's out. We know Brady's not happy. We know Belichick didn't want it to happen. But they both understood why AB had to go.
You can't say what you said about Kraft and get away with it.
And then AB, his dumbass wants to go tweet in rash Kraft. So that makes burning bridges. But I wouldn't be surprised if Belichick sits down to Kraft and be like, hey, just gonna put this out here, Kraft. It wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt if we talk to AB.
Yeah, you know what? Just see. Yeah, first you got to get through the Kraft. That's first and foremost.
That's the
It's
most
Kraft's
important.
team. You got to get through the Kraft. Once you get through the Kraft, then you need to understand like where is everything at in terms of his legal situation and where he stands with the NFL. Are they going to suspend him? You need to know that. Is there going to be legal actions taken upon him with everything he has going on off the field? If you can get a clear-cut understanding with that, yeah, in a sense, it may look bad for the Patriots. Do they want to look like, oh, well, we released Antonio Brown, but then we're going to bring him back? They don't want to look like the dummies in the situation. I can understand that. But at the same time, one game you had him here. And that one game, he played pretty damn well in the Patriots offense with the limited time that he had around the team. So, yes, Antonio Brown off the field can seem like a dummy, and that stuff needs to get squared away with the NFL and league
put
stuff.
it out there. We gotta talk about
But
it.
if there's any way possible to get Antonio Brown back on this team and know that he can be available to play without having to deal with any kind of suspension or, going to court for any type of situations, we've already seen number 84 in uniform.
Yo, bottom line is if he doesn't, he's so stupid. It pisses. If he doesn't text, send that
He
text
still be
out.
here. He still be in New England.
He still be New England, and he still be playing. The NFL couldn't stop him from playing right now.
Yeah.
They interviewed both of them, and there was nothing else that they could have done. He would have still been playing in the New England Patriots, but he just can't help himself. And then he burned bridges with that tweet, and so it's unfortunate. It's real unfortunate, but we all know that the Patriots definitely need some more. They need some more help. Philip Dorsett, he's gonna come back. His injury doesn't look too serious. Josh Gordon, like I said, it doesn't look too serious. Edelman, this guy is fighting with like some broken ribs, and there's nothing more you can say about Edelman, man. 9 receptions, 115 yards, almost got that touchdown in the last play. The guy's a warrior, but he can't do it by himself. And Brady, it's been Edelman and White, the Edelman and White show when it comes to receptions.
I'm looking at these comments here, and people are going in on Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon on the field looking like my high school lunch lady. Josh
Okay,
Gordon out there
okay.
looking slow and fat. Oh man,
No, 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 no.
come on.
Josh Gordon hate will not be tolerated here. This is a man who's been battling what we know he's been battling. It's coming back, fit into the system. Maybe you guys had too much a high of expectation. Mike, what have I been
but
trying to tell people on this show about Josh Gordon?
but the thing is, I think we can all be in agreement not to fall in line with the slander taking place. But Josh Gordon, in his limited time last year, looked better than he does this year. And he's been through, obviously, he wasn't there all of training camp, but he was there for a couple games, preseason. He has been around. What's the major difference? You say the chemistry of Brady's not there. He was there with Brady last year. On top of that,
And
there's talk that they worked out during the
and
summer.
I'll tell you why. Mike, you remember last year when Gordon came in? There was games where Brady would just force feed him, right?
Mhm.
To the point we were like, Brady, hold on, relax, like spread the ball around. This year, I don't see. It's like he doesn't even look Gordon's way. There's been times in this game you sit and you go, "Where the hell is Josh
So
Gordon?"
you believe that because Brady's not force feeding him similar to last year, that kind of
But
thrown
the
things
no,
off?
it's shown. That's why I'm comparing because you said last year he looked better. I don't know if last year he was significantly better. Last year he
He
just
just
got
oh
forced
yes, I think he just seemed more involved last
more
year.
involved.
Okay.
Yes, perfect.
Um so we won't slander Josh Gordon.
But we even on this year we've been mentioned Josh Gordon doesn't. I talked about how he hasn't been reeling the ball in. Sometimes gets the ball taken out. So yeah, there is some Josh Gordon things, but I feel like he needs more looks.
Okay, that's a possibility as well. We mentioned Antonio Brown. Whatever way that situation is going to go, I know he's out there making Instagram stories and post about Patriots need to pay, got to pay him, so they might as well play him and saying stuff like that. Either way, you got to look at realistic options. What if they make some trades, get some draft picks out of here, and see who they can bring in, or if you look to the free agency? And now I got a list here of guys who are out there who I don't know if Patriots will or maybe take a look at, but here are some names out there for sure. Michael Crabtree, veteran receiver, free agent. He's been around the league for a while. You tapes out on him, like you like to say, so you know what Crabtree brings to
Right.
the table. That's one name to mention. Then there's some other guys that you're like, okay, I don't know. Des Bryant,
No.
he's probably, I don't know if he'll play another game in the
I'd
NFL,
rather have N'Keal Harry.
but Des Bryant is a free agent. Kelvin Benjamin,
Nope.
another guy who's
Y'all want
been
to talk about fat and slow?
maybe he's been working out in the
I'd
offseason.
rather have
Or
N'Keal Harry again.
all right, that's another guy. Here's another guy who I could possibly see it if there was an option to look at him, bring him in for a week to see what he has. Pierre Garcon. I would take a look at him. In my mind, he can bring somewhat of what Philip Dorsett
Yeah,
brings to the
that's why
table.
I was just about to bring that up because you have Philip Dorsett coming back. There's
But even if you have Philip, don't you need that depth there just in case a situation
I
happens?
think it's the position of wide receiver you need. Like you want a wide out. Phil Dorsett's more in the slot. You have Edelman there. You have Dorsett playing that a little bit. You have Jacoby Myers. You want more of an outside guy. That's not what Pierre Garcon brings to the table.
Those are some names out there.
Right.
I don't
And
know.
all those names you mentioned, I'd rather have Nikhil Harry. I'd rather
We're
have
waiting.
Nikhil Harry there, or then the guys that were mentioned in the chat,
The
um,
trades that could
the
possibly
trades,
happen. Okay.
the trades of AJ Green, or what, who else? What was said? Oh, Emmanuel Sanders.
Emmanuel Sanders.
Someone said Odell, and I get it. That sounds outlandish, but I like it.
Of course, who
I
wouldn't?
Because why not? Cleveland has a problem right now where there's too many mouths to be fed. They're not winning. Baker looks caca. Why not try to find a way to bring in an Odell in here?
You'd have to give them a lot. They're looking. They'd look
You
for a
have to
lot.
trade. Yeah, you have to trade a lot.
Yeah.
You have to trade a lot. But why not look at it? I'm not mad at the Odell. Whoever mentioned that in the chat, I'm not mad at it at all.
Okay. But again, we'll wait for N'Keal Harry. Maybe they make a trade. Maybe they look to free agents. Who knows? I think the bottom line that we can all agree on is the fact that Patriots need another option.
Right.
Edelman's playing great. Yeah, 32, 33 years old. Why not? He looks great. James White, I think I saw a comment that says they need to get James White involved more. He was heavily involved in this game from looking at the
James
stats.
White was heavily
You
involved.
only carried the ball for -1 yard, but other than that, 9 receptions for 46 yards on 9 targets. 9 targets and 9 receptions.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
James White was, when you got a guy like Josh Gordon heading out, Sony Michel, the running game in the first half was not working out. So there was a point they just said, okay, forget the run. We're gonna start doing the quick throws because the defensive line was getting to Brady quickly, and that's a perfect game script for James White, and he took advantage. He played really well in this game.
Another guy who stepped up for the first time, creeping his way onto the field more and more, especially with guys being out. Jacoby Myers,
Yes.
4 receptions for 54 yards on 4 targets. There was talk I saw somewhere early in the week that just Brady does not trust this guy. Young guy out there. Obviously, Jacoby Myers was having a huge preseason,
Right.
but that was with Stidham and a little bit of Hoyer. Brady definitely trusts Edelman. He definitely trusts James White. He definitely trusts Josh Gordon. Dorsett, when he's out there, we know Brady's talked highly about Dorsett. But Brady needs to look Jacoby Myers' way a little bit more. The
Yeah.
guy has shown that he can play in the NFL. And he's another option out there, and he seems like he can make plays and make things happen on the field. I think if there's no Gordon, or if there's no Dorsett, if there's no Burkhead, who's another guy you rely upon sometimes in the pass game, I don't see a reason why the Patriots and Tom Brady don't look Jacoby Myers way more often.
You're right, Mike. And tonight they let him loose a little bit out of necessity, like you mentioned. But Jacoby made plays when the ball was thrown to him on 4 targets. He caught all of those passes there. The one that's memorable is obviously the one that was down the field at the I believe it was during the third quarter. And he looks good, man. He had to adjust. He adjusts to the ball every time because, like I said, the win factor, Brady wasn't accurate. He adjusted to the ball. He caught them. There wasn't much yards after the catch, but he was able to secure the ball. And that's going to bode well for Jacoby Myers moving forward. That's the same thing that would happen with Philip Dorsett. Philip Dorsett now is a reliable receiver for Tom Brady, probably the wide receiver 2 or 3 at times during this season. But there was times Brady in the beginning when Philip Dorsett just got on this team, Brady would only throw to him once or twice a game, but
Yep.
he took advantage of those catches. And later on during the year, his role expanded. You could see a little bit of that maybe happening for Jacoby Myers as well.
Time will tell how involved Jacoby Myers gets in the offense for sure. But we got to switch over to the
Ooh,
defense.
please,
A
man,
defense that
please.
continues to show dominance. Yes, I know people keep saying, well, they haven't faced anybody yet. They haven't faced anybody yet. Whatever the case is, this team is 6 weeks into the NFL season,
Beast.
and they're the top defensive team in the league. Whether you want to look at that and say, oh, it's because they face sucky talent, sure, that can be an argument. But you still have to step up each week and play football. And each week the Patriots have stepped on the field defensively and played football. It's led them to be the top team in the NFL in terms of defense. You're looking at Daniel Jones' stats. He only got Patriots only recorded 1 sack on him, but in turn, were able to intercept him 3 times. Unfortunately, the streak of McCourty interceptions
It's
has come
finally
to an
come.
end.
It's come
There
down.
was no McCourty interception today, but if it wasn't McCourty, you had some interceptions taking place from other guys who made some big plays. Gilmore had an interception. Who else am I missing here from the stats that had an interception?
There was
Was it
the fumble
fumble
recovery
fumble
from
recovery?
Kyle
Yeah.
Van Noy.
All in all, what I mean to say is this defense doesn't matter who they're playing, doesn't matter what offense is out there. Yes, like I said early in the show, they're facing a Giants team that are missing some of their top guys. Top guys weren't on the field. Still with that, the Patriots dominated this team. They did what they're supposed to do. You know, you're supposed to shut down and dominate a team like the Giants, and that's what they came out to the field and did.
Mike, during this game though, Patriots defense was great. We can all agree. But Daniel Jones has some time to throw the ball this game. He had some time to get a little busy.
Mhm.
Van Noy, he's been having a great year. He got the 1 sack on Daniel Jones, but that defensive line, there wasn't any tackle for losses. And they did a really good job on Hillman, only 11 carries on 38 yards, but no negative plays. And this is it now. We finally got it. I always would use to sprinkle it in. We gotta talk about it. Michael Bennett.
Mm.
Michael Bennett. I'm tired now. Now, now,
Okay,
now it's time.
okay.
Now it's time, Mike. You tell me his stats. Look it up. I'll wait.
Michael Bennett stats. Just to correct what I was saying earlier, it was Deron Harmon, John Simon, and Stephon Gilmore with interceptions. But yes, Michael Bennett, his stat lines from today's game. I'm here looking at the box scores, and as I scroll
Keep looking.
defensively,
I'll wait.
I do not see Michael Bennett's name on here
No,
once.
no, no. Look again. Look again. It's got to be there somewhere.
Okay, let me scroll one more time here, and I'm looking. I'm seeing Shaquille Calhoun, J.C. Jackson, even Gunnar Olszewski. His name shows up there defensively. Terrence Brooks. I'm not even sure what position he plays, to be honest with you. Uh, I don't see Michael Bennett's name at all. And I'll tell you, this might not be the first time I look at a box score and Michael Bennett's name does not show up.
His role has decreased incredibly. I'm not even sure if he played over 10 snaps today.
Sheesh. I did see him when they showed the bench on the camera to the bench. He was sitting there fixing his jersey or something.
Michael Bennett is making almost over $15 million in this on this team, and his role is absolutely nothing.
Hmm.
Nothing. So what what's going on here? We know he can play. Just last year, the guy was balling. They limited his role. Is it because you're trying to expand Winovich, who's been playing very well? Chase has been awesome for this team. He got himself a touchdown today. Speaking of touchdowns, it took Slater 12 years to get his first touchdown. Why take Winovich 6 games?
It don't matter how long it took him. Slater's going to be in the Hall of Fame. We don't have to talk about that.
But Bennett, man, that money the reason I'm harping on is just the money. Patriots are always money smart when it comes to these players.
Try to be. Sure do.
And with Bennett, you can't give this guy this much money. And you see how tied up we are now, trying to figure out what we're trying to do with trades and trying to get this offense up there. And then you have Bennett, who's barely playing now. He's not even on the box score.
He sure isn't.
So that brings up, does he become trade bait? I don't know how he is in the locker room. I don't know if he's disgruntled.
You don't hear anything about him.
You don't hear anything. I don't know if he's disgruntled or not. Maybe he's just buying into the system. But this is Michael Bennett. This is not just any player here. This is a guy who wanted to make an impact on the Patriots defense, and he has made zero impact. I know he has like 4 sacks of the year. They've been all in like the fourth quarter, garbage time. Doesn't matter.
I try not to talk about Michael Bennett too much. I still have faith in his ability to be there.
He can play. That's my thing. He can play.
It's just confusing as to why. Obviously, sometimes they say the impact a player has on the game doesn't always necessarily show up on the box scores. Maybe that's the case with Michael Bennett. They say that in basketball,
Mike,
Marcus Smart, he does a lot of stuff that doesn't show up on
Marcus
a
Smart plays at least 30 minutes a game.
Marcus Smart does a lot of stuff that doesn't show up on the box scores. Maybe in football, the same thing with Michael Bennett. He does a lot of stuff
You
that
can
doesn't
you
show.
can you can do that for Slater and I'll buy it. You're not gonna give me that with Bennett when the man's not even playing the game. He's letting the third down rookie play more than him. You're seeing guys like Calhoun, Simon, all of these guys play more than him. And one thing I always used to think about is Bennett plays one way. He's one specific way. He's gonna play on the outside and he's gonna go after the quarterback. Belichick loves versatile defensive linemen that can shift up, shift down, the linebackers that can play on the line, move up. That's not
That's how I feel
Bennett's
about Simon.
that's not Bennett's style. That was always one thing I thought, well, that's not really how Bennett rolls, but maybe they'll make it work, but they haven't made it work yet.
You know, I'm still gonna hold out hope on Bennett that he's gonna show up. I saw a comment that came in here and said, where's the comment? Something about Bennett showing up in big games. Bennett makes plays, bro, in big games. Keep him for down the road.
Hey, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's week 6 and somebody's got to talk about it. And that's what we're here for.
All right. I hear you. I hear you for
People
sure.
saying, "Oh, we're crazy. Talk about the offense, not the D." Hey, we just did 30 minutes talking about the offense. We got to talk about both sides of the field.
Here's what I will say about the offense. I know we're going back to it, but something I wanted to bring up that you brought up while we were here watching the game. Goal line work for Sony Michel.
Ah,
I'm looking here, and Sony Michel, 22 carries, 86 yards, solid running there, averaged almost 4 yards per carry. But when the Patriots were on the goal line, two guys that look like they got a lot of work: Brandon Bolden and Tom Brady. And maybe people say, oh, well, the reason why Sony Michel didn't get goal line work in certain situations was because they're on like the 1 yard line, and that's an easy sneak for Brady. They tried that QB sneak with Brady a few times. Look at these stat lines here. Brady
no,
rushed for seven
he
times.
probably had at least 4 sneaks.
7 carries for Brady in a
Right.
game. You're looking at a possible career high for Brady. But either way, they were in the goal line, 1-2 yard line, and it was either Brady trying to sneak the ball in or Brandon Bolden was out there. And Brandon Bolden actually converted on one of his rushes down in the goal line, I believe. He also finished with 3 carries for 23 yards and a touchdown. But no Sony Michel down on the goal line. Is that because of they're on the 1 yard line and Brady's a specialist when it comes to those sneaks, or do they just feel Michelle hasn't been getting the job done?
Yeah, it's time to talk about it. Both the reason you mentioning Bolden is not because he got goal line work. Patriots love to sprinkle some random quarterbacks in there to punch it in, but Bolden didn't get it in the first down. He didn't get it in second down, and they went with him 3 times in a row on the goal line. While Sony Michel, your first round pick, was not there, that's concerning. When Sony's not getting any goal line work, when it's first down, second down, third down,
Yeah,
you're not gonna put
that's
Sony in,
shocking. Very
and you're putting
shocking.
Brent. And look, Brandon Bolden came into it. We're thinking, okay, he's going back to be his special teams guy. Bolden's getting busy. Let's not, put dirt on Bolden's name. He's been getting busy here. Last week we saw that he got a touchdown as well. He got some goal line work last week. And then you mentioned it, Tom Brady sneaking it that many times. I believe like last year he barely snuck the ball at all, because like we're thinking maybe they're not sneaking no more because Brady's age and everything like that. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Bolden's been looking good. He's been converting. It's not like Bolden hasn't been converting. Then that would be a problem. Bolden's been converting, and Sony Michel, unfortunately, hasn't been getting the job done. And it's not all on Sony. We've been talking about it. As bad as the offensive line's been doing protecting Brady, they have been doing a great job at run blocking as well.
It's a combination of a lot of different things. I think I saw a comment of someone saying they believe that Sony Michel is heavier this time around. Um, I don't know. It's a little bit of Michelle not producing. The offensive line is struggling. it's a different combination of things you could talk about when it comes to Sony Michelle in the running game and Sony Michelle on the goal line. Here, looking at more comments coming in. Um, Tight ends can't even run block either.
Ooh, that's true. Ooh, who said that?
Uh,
The God. I don't know. Oh, Foolery, the God.
oh, Foolery the God.
Yes. That's something I noticed, Mike. Whether it was Izzo out there or Lacoste, but mostly Izzo because Lacoste got hurt for a period of time. These boys can't block. They
It's a struggle.
can't. The
Struggle
run block
bus.
is not good. Jacoby Myers. One thing about him, if he wants to stay in this league, I know I'm jumping from tight end to receiver. Jacoby Myers during the screen passes. This is the second game I've seen it now. Jacoby can't block for nothing.
Yeah, he blew one very badly.
Jacoby cannot block, and this is 2 games in a row that I've seen that. Izzo, his specialty is supposed to be pass blocking, helping with the block. He got blown up as well. So the tight ends not being able to block. We always talk about, damn, we miss Gronk for you're thinking the passing, but what made him so special is he was getting in there and blocking as well. And don't forget now, there's no Ben Watson. I wouldn't be surprised with Lacoste looking like he's a little shaky.
And an injury, yeah.
He's looking a little shaky with his injury again. I wouldn't be surprised if Watson gets a little call here saying, "Hey, we might need you back."
It possibly could happen. It definitely could. I think for sure when he probably stepped into the office, Bill Belichick's office for his walking papers, Belichick probably said, "Hey, man, stay in shape, stay close to your phone, because unfortunately we probably
Yeah.
don't have the room for you. But if something happens down the line, we might need you to step up." And I think Ben Watson would be happy to come back. I saw a question coming in that asked why the Patriots were charged a timeout at the end of the first half on an overturned scoring play. That's a good question. And I don't necessarily know why. I think the play was when they were reviewing after not Ninkovich, sorry, Van Noy
Right.
ran it back. I guess the Patriots might have been charged a timeout in that.
I need to remember
I
what
think
play.
that's the
I don't
play
know what.
that this question is referring to from the Dynasty Continues. If that is the play that you're referring to, I'm not too sure. It is very curious to me as to why they were charged a timeout. I think all in all, the officiating and whatnot has been a little funny business. Even Patriots on defense, I think I forgot the player who it was. It might have been Golden Tate and either Jonathan
Oh,
Jones or Jason
one of the
Jackson.
last plays of the
Yeah,
game.
but it was a clear pass interference, and I think the Giants even tried to review it, and they upheld it and said there was no pass interference. And I'm a guy who usually likes to call things right down the middle. That was pass interference, straight up. Patriots should have been
Yeah,
charged.
the explanation was it wasn't it needs to be as egregious as the pass interference that we saw against the Saints game in the playoffs for them to call it. That's the explanation they gave on TV. We're getting to the point now with all these rules and reviews and everything like that. You don't know what is what anymore, and
Okay.
and it's unfortunate for the game.
So my thing is, the comment coming in. Shout out to 10 TB12 is God. He says, so they didn't get a 10-second runoff since he was short. It was a running clock. On a play with James White, when Brady did his little drop pass to James White and he curled around for the touchdown and his elbow went down first,
Right.
they called it back. They didn't rule it a touchdown. They said it because his elbow was down. That's the play he's referring to.
Okay. I remember what you guys talking
But
about.
one thing I do want to talk on real quick before we get into the stars and stories. Are we gonna jump on Mike Nugent's case today or not? Can you blame his missed field goal because he's a little shaky at kicker, or was the wind a huge factor?
What you
Not only with the wind, I think when the holder got the ball, he had the laces facing the
Yeah.
wrong way.
Bailey's been on some funny business as well. Bailey, he did a little bit in preseason. We saw he got caught again. We saw him do it again tonight. And then Nugent himself, he's just what you saw from Nugent tonight is what you're gonna get from him. Even his extra points are
Five for five.
they're just skimming in there,
I don't care what they skimmed, as long as they go through.
and they've been
Better than
going
Gostkowski.
right now because Gostkowski was hurt. Mike, stop it, don't do that. It is. I know it's late, but don't do that. So right now, hey, I'll take what Nugent's giving right now. He's not out of this world. Patriots, as long as they keep facing teams like the Giants, they'll be all right.
Yeah, and the Patriots keep scoring. That's why you can really look at whether it's Gostkowski or Nugent. You look at these guys possibly missing extra points and whatnot. You can't really worry about it too much sometimes because, I mean, you have to worry about it, yes, but at the same time, the Patriots continue to score 6 points, then another 6 points, another 6 points because they keep getting touchdowns. Obviously, you're hoping that the defense holds down the other team so that these missed extra points don't mean anything. I saw a comment saying that they don't believe that Nugent can be trusted when the playoffs start. It remains to be seen, man. I don't know. Just, keep trying to build up your confidence, you know, and hope that he can be relied upon if necessary.
Yeah, there was a comment in here talking about the comments are booming. So I'm sorry if I don't remember
Yeah, shout out to the comments for
who is
sure.
saying what, but there was a comment in there saying, that Patriots do not trust. Belichick doesn't trust Nugent. That's why they keep going for fourth down. One, that may also be true, but I'm not mad at it, Mike. I like when the Patriots are going fourth down. One, the Patriots defense can be trusted.
That is
You,
true.
you
I did
know,
say that.
you,
Yep.
you know that if you go for it in fourth down, that okay, you have a great defense that no matter what, you're gonna give them good field position supposedly, and you're gonna be able to stop them again. So the Patriots defense is another reason why the Patriots are taking more risks at fourth down, on top of not trusting Nugent.
Yeah. A comment just came in, says Belichick trusts the defense more than the
And
kicker.
he should.
That is true. True indeed. Um, let's move on. Let's get ready for the stars and sorries of the game. I saw some stars coming in early in the comments. There's been a lot of comments. So if you had some stars of the game, drop them again in the comments. Your top 3 stars from tonight's game. Let us know who you feel deserves a star of the game. I got some guys in mind that I definitely want to give a star to. One guy for sure who showed up for the Patriots. He did some damage to me in terms of fantasy football because I was going up against him. But Julian Edelman, 9 receptions, 113 yards on 15 targets. Clearly, he was Brady's top receiver. Clearly, when he was able to get the ball, he was able to make things happen. And, continues to be the reliable, I think what was Gronk calling him the pregame show? The little
Squirrel.
furry, quick, whatever squirrel,
Squirrel.
whatever the case is. Julian Edelman, I think he moved up in the ranks in terms of receptions in Patriots history, something along those lines. Shout out to Julian Edelman. He definitely deserves a star of the game.
Yeah, man, Julian Edelman, like I'm saying, this guy is not healthy. He's not 100% healthy at all. And for him to just go out there continuously battling, catching every ball that comes his way, 9 for 15 targets, definitely deserves a star of this game. Got to give one to a guy that, anytime his name is called upon on the offense, he balls out. James White.
James White for sure.
James White, I think this might be his first of the 2019 season here, but he definitely deserves a star. 9 receptions, 46 yards. And the numbers don't look big, they don't jump out
Yep.
there, but when you lose receivers in Gordon, you're adding rookies and undrafted rookies in Jacoby Meyer and Gunner, then James White steps up in big times, gets those third down catches to move the chains. I think that is huge. But Mike, we got to talk about this defense.
Defense for sure. I'm seeing some names coming in. Gilmore. Someone said Winovich. Who stars out for you, Marv? Who do you have as a star on the defensive side?
Defensive side, I gotta give it to Kyle Van Noy.
Kyle Van Noy. He's been having a hell of a season.
He's talking a lot more than you usually expect a Patriot to talk, but he's backing it up. This guy got personality. They coined the linebacker crew the boogeymen.
The boogeyman.
And he backed it up with this touchdown. Back to the touchdown. He's been all over the field. It doesn't matter if he's playing coverage on some running backs. If he's chasing what's this guy's name? If he's chasing Daniel Jones off of a scramble, if he's sacking Daniel, he was all over the place once again. Gets a touchdown, a nice little dive. He's showing a little speed on himself too. So Kyle Van Noy definitely for me gets a star of the game.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the combination of Van Noy, Collins, and
That's
Hightower.
beautiful.
That's a tough combination of
And you got
linebackers out there.
Bentley and Simon and them to come in
And
whenever.
Landon Roberts stepping
Like,
up sometimes
yeah,
too.
Robert.
I knew you was a I knew you were gonna do that with a Landon Roberts. But yeah, it's led by Van Noy, Collins, and Hightower. And I think they're all playing very well. Um, Shout out to the defense for sure. Like I said, Gilmore made a hell of a play late in the game, even though the game was pretty much over. He made a hell of a play on a receiver. I forgot which receiver it was, but it's a nice pass by Daniel Jones, solid catch by the receiver. But the way that Gilmore positioned his body to punch the ball out for the pass to be
Yeah,
incomplete, it was just a
on Slater.
Slater, yes, it was just a play that reminds you why this guy is an all-pro player in this league, and a guy that's looked
Slayton,
upon
sorry.
Slayton, a guy that's looked upon in this league as one of the top cornerbacks in the league. Shout out to Stephon Gilmore for a star, for sure.
Honorable mention, Winovich. He hasn't got a star from us yet, but he's gonna get there.
He's making his way.
He's get there. I know a lot of comments got him Winovich as a star and deservedly so. That boy's a baller, man.
Absolutely. But I tell you, on this
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
show right here, when there's the good
There's the bad.
and when you're bad, we tell you
Sorry.
So, if you have some sorries of the game, some players that had bad performances, some players that didn't look like they were on their game today, some players who just possibly outright, undoubtedly sucked, let us know. Drop those sorries in the comments. We'll kick it off here. I'm trying to think of some sorries on the Giant side of the game. And I just have to give a sorry to Daniel Jones.
Damn.
Once again, Daniel Jones finished the game 15 of 31. He did pass for 161 yards, one touchdown, three interceptions, with a quarterback rating of 35.2. Patriots once again shut down a rookie quarterback. You just can't be a rookie quarterback and face the Patriots. You can't be a rookie quarterback, come into Gillette Stadium and try to beat the Patriots.
Can't be done.
It
It
just
can't.
can't be done under Belichick, under Brady, under this team. They don't let rookie quarterbacks win. So Daniel Jones, you tried. You're having a nice little start to your career. This is your season with the Giants. I know tonight was extra tough because you're missing a lot of weapons, but at the end of the day, you took the L, and because of that L, we have to give you a
Sorry.
Yeah. Let's see some comments coming in here.
I got, Daniel Jones, he played tough. I like that touchdown he threw to Golden Tate. That was really a dime.
Great
That was
catch
a
by Golden Tate as
great,
well.
yes. For me, though, unfortunately, this game wasn't a fun game to watch, especially in the first half. It was quite frustrating. And what was the peaking point? You got the interception. You intercepted Daniel Jones, and then you just throw the interception right back. You gave it to those are the worst.
Yeah, Brady.
Those are the worst. But I'm not gonna give it to Brady. But Brady, you're damn close. But he saved himself from getting a start because he got 2 rushing touchdowns.
He did.
He got 2 rushing touchdowns, and then late in the game, because it was the Giants, they were slinging the ball still. Brady wanted to throw a little salt against that team for sure. But a Patriot's got to get it. Not one Patriot, not 2,
Oh boy.
not 3,
Oh boy.
not 4. The whole damn offensive line. I'm getting
line.
sick and tired of this. I'm getting sick and tired of this line right here, man, because it's getting worse.
Each week.
It's getting worse.
Yeah.
You know what? The Giants are ranked defensively, Mike.
30th.
30th. How many teams are in the NFL?
32.
Holy crap. What the hell is going on here? Patriots could not score. They could not score. And
Struggle bus.
And the major reason why is
Heard.
because they could not defend Tom Brady at all. This guy Ogletree got to Brady, not to Brady specifically, but had 12 tackles, sacked Brady once. Brady got sacked twice, I believe, in this game. 3 times. Brady got hit 3 times compared to Daniel Jones one. Got rushed many times. Do some errant bad throws. Sony Michelle couldn't get it going. No one else ran the ball other than Bolden in the goal line.
Yeah.
James White tried to run the ball, got negative yards. It was a sorry showing for this offensive line right here, man. And I hate giving it to Patriots. I hate doing it. McDaniels was close. He was close. I used to
Questionable. Let's
he
pitch the ball on 3rd and 7 or
he
whatever it
he
was.
was pretty damn I gave McDaniels a lot of sorries last year. I've been good. I've been good this year. So I'm not gonna do it yet. But McDaniels, you this close, buddy, to getting a sorry. But for right now, the offensive line, you guys get a big old sorry.
One thing I will say, or a question that I want to pose to you guys watching and to you as well, Marv. We know that Brady has worked with lesser talent in terms of weapons over the years, but a lot of talk is they need another weapon. So, is it more important to get Brady another weapon so that he can have more options to work with to help this sustain this offense, or is it more important to make sure that they try to add another piece or somehow in some way solidify the offensive line?
It's the line. The line needs to get healthy. Like, of course, we play around with the stars and sorries and everything, but the line's not healthy. You got a lot of guys in there that are not starting caliber offensive linemen.
Okay, so if you would you rather improve the offensive line for sure and stick with who the Patriots have in terms of weapons,
Or changed compared to
or
improve the weapons
or
and keep the line.
go out and make a trade for
I'd rather improve the line because not only does it affect the passing game, but the running game needs to get better as well.
Okay, hey, you heard it here first from the guy Marv. Um, Again, once again, comments are booming. Shout
Of
out to people
course.
in.
What time is it, man? East Coast time. It is
I know.
midnight, 12:20.
Let us if you're not on the East Coast right now, you in these comments, please let us know where you're at because again, these comments are booming. We always try to get to as many comments as possible, but you guys are over here typity type. Appreciate y'all joining the conversation. This show doesn't happen without you guys in
Mm-hmm.
these comments for
Those
sure.
big facts.
Patriots 6-0. Like I said, shout out to Denver. Shout out to Maryland.
Okay, what we got
Shout out
here?
to Nigeria.
Nigeria, let's
Woo!
go.
See y'all out here showing support for the Patriots post game
My
show.
man's 13 miles from Gillette. We global, baby.
Shout out to all of you guys tuning in from wherever you
Florida, we
are.
got Keegan from Florida. Okay.
Again, like I said, the show with Marv and I doesn't happen without you guys in these comments. But the thing is, you can't just see Marv and I right here on the post game show. We're all over the place in terms of CLNS Media Network. We got the Patriots post game show that you're watching right now, live that we do after every game. We also have the Patriots post game show. Sorry, not the post game show. The Patriots roundtable that comes out throughout the week. Stay on the lookout for that, where we go out talk about all different types of news going on with the Patriots team. But then on Tuesday nights, check us out with the Double M Media Show where we talk about sports, media, entertainment, urban culture, anything that's going on within those things. We have a live show that we do as well. Check us out with all of those. But Marv,
Hold on, man. I gotta give out some shout
oh
outs
my
of people. We
goodness,
got TB12s from Georgia. We got Celtic here from
Tennessee,
Tennessee. Shout out Tennessee. Shout out
Canada.
Canada from O'Hara. We got Cincy from Aaron. Okay. Okay,
Shout out to
man.
you guys
Yo,
indeed. Wow.
man, you guys are global, and this is why we do it. Make sure, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to
Oh
tell a
yeah,
friend, to
spread the
tell a
word.
friend.
Spread the
Shout out to
word.
Ryan, day one fan, always been showing us love. We gotta show you love back, bro.
Yeah. So Patriots 6-0.
Yes.
Next week they are taking on a
Is it the
team
Jets?
that They might have their quarterback
Is
back.
he done smooching?
I think the monoscoliosis is finally
He's
subsided.
done smooching.
He's finally finished kissing up in the elevator,
Oh
where
man, can we
in the closet room or wherever
God.
he's kissing
Thank
at.
God.
I don't know. But yes, next week the Patriots will be taking on the New York Jets in New York.
Monday, another night game.
Yes, 8:15 Eastern time. Patriots versus the Jets. A game that I believe will push the Patriots to 7-0 on the road to an undefeated season, but we won't get into that too much right now. 7-0 coming up soon.
7-0 Patriots post game show. Shout out to everyone from all over the world. Shout out to the fans in Lagos, Nigeria.
Check us out. Tune in all the time for sure.
We'll
We will
see you
see you
guys
guys next time.